We are here with Daphne and we're going to work on putting on a saddle. And the first thing we want to do is prepare her to be caught. So she's leaning into me right now. That's a good sign. That's what we want. If she wasn't, I would wait till she is before I started to do this. A good girl. Yeah, that's a good girl. So Daphne was brought home in September. So she's been here a little over 6 months. And she was doing all of her gentle training, and then she had a break because we had a couple that we were having trouble with their feet. Okay, right here I'm going to increase this 5 times the speed, guys, just to help it go faster. And what I'm doing is introducing the saddle and pad to her. I'm going to pay her for showing interest. This is how I'm going to keep her interested and excited with what I'm doing. I have an oat pouch that I'm using to pay out. And in the description, guys, check out the description. I have my favorite oat pouch there for you guys to check out. So this is just going to be a process of helping her be brave enough, keeping the training fun for her, and having a successful first saddling. Now I'm using a training saddle that I like to use. I call it a glorified bareback pad. And I will also find a link for that and put that into the description. Also, I was recently asked about that saddle. So check out the description. And here we're just going to keep going slow at Daphne's pace. Remember, donkeys need time to process. So remember, this is going 5 times the speed. And it kind of just looks like I'm moving like normal. But I'm not, guys. I'm going at donkey time, donkey speed. So remember that when you're working with your own donkeys. You'll also notice that she's not tied up for this. I want her to learn and be willing to stand still when I'm saddling her. If she feels like she needs to move right now, she can move. And I like to have the opportunity to work on groundwork. So if she needs to move, you'll see me often rolling the hinds, having her disengage her hind end, because I want to practice that anyways. So use your tools and help make a good situation. Leave them alone when they're doing what you want. Give them soak time, and they're going to be okay with whatever you're doing. Something else I like to do when I'm introducing the saddle is introduce the saddle pad and the saddle separately. I'm not going to be riding right now, so I can get her used to the saddle pad and then put the saddle on her without the pad, because I don't want it to fall off while I'm introducing this to her. I want to keep the experience good and positive for her, not cause her alarm. I hope you're getting a lot of value out of this video with your own donkey training needs, and I sure appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button. I love to hear your stories in the comments of what's happening. Do you have a favorite saddle that you use for training? Remember, donkeys need breaks to process what they learned, and if you think you gave them a long enough break, give them a little more. Right now, Daphne has had 6 minutes off, and now you can see she's coming back over to me for more love and attention. There are many ways to see how they're feeling. One of them is their mouth, so pay attention to their mouth area. All right, I have this increased again to 5 times the speed. So remember, go at donkey pace, donkey time whenever you're training. Here, guys, I grabbed the saddle and Daphne started to walk away. It's important that we don't chase them around with something that they're fearful of. So right now she's 10 or 12, or she was 10 or 12 feet from me. I have this again going 5 times the speed, guys. I'm going to let Daphne be curious and approach me. kind of ignore her a little bit. Seamus is feeling sad. He wants to be worked with right now. I have the oats, and that's going to help create curiosity. Paying them is going to help them learn the lesson while keeping their interest. Now, if she's fearful of something, I need to do the advance and retreat. I can target train with that. So there she touched it with her nose, and then I paid her. So I'm going to pay her for being brave and curious about my saddle. This here is going to pay off. We're going to keep saddling without her being tied up. And then once she's really comfortable with being saddled, we'll go ahead and tie her up to saddle her. But to teach it, we're going to do it out here without her being tied. Keep building that confidence. Remember, if she has to walk away, and right now I'm not even holding the lead rope, but if I was and she has to walk away, I'm just going to roll her hinds or have her disengage her hind end, because I want to practice that anyways. Now I have it come up, do your donkeys get nippy and bitey from giving them oats or treats? And I haven't had that happen, guys. Sometimes I notice that they'll kind of scrape my hand with their teeth when they're nervous, but that's the palm of my hand. I'm not going to pay them if they're trying to mug me. So I haven't had it come up yet, but I am going to have some upcoming videos about that, because I just brought home a new donkey, and I think we're going to vote her as the most likely to bite off somebody's finger or ear, because she's just all over us. She's not wild, but she absolutely loves people, and she is a baby. She's just 1.5 years, and she wants to know what everything tastes like. So I'll have some videos about that upcoming. Now, even though I'm paying her right now for her bravery and curiosity and target training, that won't always be the case. I use the pay to introduce new things to them like this, but later on she's going to have to do more in order to get pay, because she cannot demand that she has pay every time, even when she has been doing this for years. But if she's nervous about something, then I'm going to use pay to help get that bravery. Remember, your mindset makes all the difference in the world when you're working with donkeys. They're like a mirror of us. So if you're out there feeling frustrated, they're going to know, and that's going to cause them to feel frustrated also. Keep a good mindset. Tell your donkey how wonderful it is while you're working with it, and that's going to help and pay off in the long run. While we're working with our donkeys, we're always going to be paying attention to how much they're carrying as far as nervousness. Now, right now, her top lip is sticking out further than her bottom lip. That tells me that she's taken in a lot of stressors, and I need to help her get rid of that. I need to help her and be with her while she comes down and she processes what she learns and starts to feel comfortable with the new lesson she just received. Now, we have to watch more than just their face as far as their mouth. We also need to watch their ears, how their eyes are, their breathing, what their tail is doing, how much they're moving their feet, or maybe even stomping at the ground. All of that could be signs. If they feel like they have to go away from you, that's another sign that maybe they're feeling overwhelmed. Be patient. Work on donkey time. There, she's starting to lick and chew, guys. While she's taking her break, I'm playing with the oats in my pocket. Now, a donkey can hear another donkey under the right circumstances up to 60 miles away. So you know that she can hear those oats wiggling around in my pocket, in my oat pouch. I'm trying to lure her back over to me. I'm trying to create curiosity to say, hey, do you want to play my game again? We're going to play a game about how to saddle you. And she says, maybe. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm kind of curious about what you have to offer. Keep the training fun, guys. That's why we do this. We do this because the bond that we create with our donkeys is amazing. But remember, it takes time. Be patient. Go out there, have fun. Don't be too serious. If you're working with a donkey, you have to find it in yourself not to be too serious. Even myself, with my type A personality, I have to remember that. Because sometimes I want things done yesterday. Not sure if you feel like that. Write in the comments if you feel like you want it done yesterday, and sometimes it can be hard to remember to go on donkey time. Oh my. All right, guys, remember we're on donkey time. So I just increased the speed of the video again, 5 times the speed. Remember, we're dealing with the donkey and we're going to go slow. Now, again, I'm doing this without her being tied up. I want her to have the confidence to stand still and not force her to stand still by tying her up while I'm introducing new things to her like this. So it's a lot of repetition. You can see how many times I'm taking it on, putting it on and taking it off, and I'm paying her every time that I'm doing this. Now you see I have the cinches like tied up so that they're not wiggling on her, but the stirrups are wiggling on her. She's getting used to all those feelings, doing it from both sides. Remember, donkeys, if they've done something on the right side, they have no clue what that is when you go to the opposite side. So you have to do everything from both sides when you're working with a donkey. Now, the structure of a donkey's bones is different than the structure of a horse. Their shoulders go up and down and not forward and back. So when you're putting that saddle on, you want to make sure it's behind their shoulder blades. Now on this saddle, it's not going to matter too much because it's just a glorified bareback pad. And again, I'm going to put a link in the comments for this because I love this saddle for training. I do ride in it sometimes, mostly on Seamus because Seamus is so fat that it's hard to find a saddle to fit on him. I do have one now, but before I did, I used this saddle. So with that in mind, nutrition is a big deal, guys. We want to make sure they don't get overweight. When we got Seamus, he was in a round pen. That's where he lived. And he was fed sweet feed and alfalfa, straight alfalfa. Donkeys don't need that. They're super efficient with their food and they don't need all that extra. And once they get overweight, it's really hard to get that off from them. So there, what I was just doing is some circles to help her get used to the feel of that cinch being tightened up around her. Now, this is a time when they start moving and you're doing circles or disengaging, that if they're going to get really upset and blow up, this is when they're going to do it. We want to do all this groundwork before we ever get on their back because we need to prepare them. Okay, guys, this is when I was playing around with a carrot. It was so much fun to make this little video. And, it didn't do that well, but I think it's funny. We need to train our donkeys. And I like to use oats and pay. I don't give my carrots very much, and she doesn't even know what that carrot is. But keep watching. I have a lot of videos that are about how to teach your donkey to lead. And we don't want to always have to use pay to get them to do what we want. So we're going to start off. I always start off with pay, but then I keep evolving where I'm not using pay because I want them to understand to follow that loose lead rope. So I have a lot of videos out there, guys, describing how to do this. Can you look them up? There's a playlist for leading. And this year I am starting to do leading training a little bit differently. So check those videos out. They're going to be upcoming here a lot in the future now. So playing with Daphne this day was just so much fun. Remember, have fun with our donkeys. And this was one of the most fun days that I had with them. Just being totally silly. So if you're tired of having to pull your donkey, keep watching and I'm going to help you learn how to do it. Are you tired of having to pull on your donkey to get them to go where you want? Or trying to have a carrot in front of them just so you can go on a walk? Well, I'm here. I'm here to help you learn the skills you need so that you can train your donkey. Every donkey owner deserves to have the skills they need to train their donkey. Tell me when you're ready.
Ready.
Donkeys eating carrots. It's like apple bobbing, but carrot bobbing. She's never had a carrot before. That didn't work well. This video is about donkeys eating carrots, not me. There, it's in her mouth. We'll see if she eats it. Are you gonna eat the carrot? Are you gonna make a funny face eating a carrot? Can you zoom in on her face? Scary.
She has a parrot mouth now. There, it's in her mouth. Don't spit it out, silly. Zoom in on her face, Thomas. Let's see if she makes a funny face. Are you making a funny face? You're kind of puckering. You're kind of puckering. Oh, did you like that? All right, let's see if we can get her to lead now. She likes eating carrots. Okay, so all you gotta do then to teach your donkey to lead is hold this out in front of you and then try to get their attention on the carrot. Look at the carrot. Look at the carrot. Want the carrot? She says no if I put grain out there. Okay? Let's go after the carrot. Come on, let's go after the carrot. Get the carrot, get the carrot. Ooh, yummy carrot. I suppose you gotta let them catch it sometimes. Well, next we'll have to try it with watermelon. I've been watching to see if watermelon's in the grocery store.